I went ahead and turned the king off camera because the king is turned exactly like the queen with one little exception. At the top of the head, I put a 10 in here and a 10 in here essentially, and a disc in the middle. And once we sand this down and finish it, I'll take a Japanese pull saw and I'll cut both sides off of this disc to form the king's crown. I'm going to go ahead and sand the king off camera as well. And once I get it completely sanded, I'll come back and show you how I go about cutting the crown. After sanding and polishing, here's what the king pin topper looks like. I think it's really beautiful. The spalted maple just has so much character. Now all that's left to do is we're going to remove it from the grabber mandrel, and then I'm going to take my pull saw and make the crown. This is the part that always makes me the most nervous. I'm going to take this Japanese flush cut saw, and basically I'm going to cut a section of the crown off on both sides of the king's head, leaving the cross emblem for the top of his crown. I try to go as slow as possible. I don't want any sudden moves and jerking out of the kerf and tearing something up. All right, there's one half. This is the tricky part because if you get off at an angle, the crown looks kind of funky. So you've got to be real careful about the way you start so that you have a nice cross. You can see we've got a nice cross for the king. A little bit of cleanup with the sandpaper. We'll hit it with some polish. And we've got a nice king pin topper. All right, I'm just working through the grits, sanding this. Basically, not putting a whole lot of pressure. I don't want to take a chance of damaging anything. But I'm working through the grits just like I did or would have done if I was turning this on the lathe. And just kind of smoothing each side out. As I sand, I get toward the ends, the outside ends. I'm kind of trying to taper it a little bit. I don't know if you can really see that or not in the video, but I'm just trying to kind of taper it down a little bit just to give it a little bit nicer look. All right. Needs a little cleanup. It's got some wax on it. The sandpaper had a little bit of wax still on it from my initial turning. Let me clean that up and we'll go from there. All right, I've cleaned up the crown a little bit, put a little polish on it, and it looks pretty good. All that's left to do is turn the bottom section of the pin. Basically going to turn that just like you would any standard 7mm pin bottom. I'm really not going to video that because I have some other videos where I turn complete pins, and any one of those will let you see how that's done. But I'm going to go ahead and get that turned, and when I come back, I'll show you what the finished king pin looks like. And after turning the front half of the pin and pressing the parts together, here's what we have. I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. I love the spalted maple. It just has so much character. I have a photo that I'll show you here in a second of the Queen pin. The Queen pin was made to order for a good friend of mine, Walter, and that pin has already been sent to Walter. He's already received it, but I did take a still photo of it before I send it off, and I'm going to show that to you. I really hope that you enjoyed this video series. If you do, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, and please consider liking this video. Everybody have a great day, and thank you for hanging out with me during this process.